Yeah.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 9th, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. And if everyone would join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my right is Barb Lewis, Vice President of the Board. To my left is, no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong again. To my left is Gary Merrill, Vice President of the Board. To my right,
Barb loves this. She is here.
I know, I love it.
Fellow Commissioner Faison Ahmed, County Administrator, and Jen Walraven, our County Clerk today. You can start.
Resolution number 17-129, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held February 6, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-129. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment today. That brings us to item number 4, resolution number 17-130, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announced certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0208.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-130. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-131, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-131. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-132, in the matter of accepting sanitary sewer improvements for the Gladed Highland Lake Section 1, Vidmar Village Section 2, and North Farms Off-Site Sewer Phase 2.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioner. Mike Fromer, sanitary engineer. These three portions of sewer have been complete, and we're recommending acceptance of them.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-132. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis? Resolution number 17-133, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer subdividers agreements for courtyards at South Section Line Road.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
The plans for this have been approved, and we're recommending execution of subdividers agreement so that construction of the improvements can commence.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-133. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-134, a resolution of necessity for the purchase and release of automobiles for the use of the employees of the sanitary engineer's office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This vehicle was placed in our 2017 budget, and we're recommending that proceeding with purchasing the vehicle at this time.
So the vehicle's high mileage and needs to be replaced?
When this vehicle is for Tiffany Mag, Deputy Director, when she came in, like me, she was driving a pool car that we had, a higher mileage pool car, and it was taken out of the pool and coordinating, and so since she's been here a while, we're going ahead in the budget to have a new vehicle purchased for her so the pool car can go back into that. So when I say pool car, we have 2 vehicles for our 8 engineers and office staff when they make a periodic visit out in the field. So.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-134. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-135, in the matter of approving a transfer of appropriations for the regional sewer district.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is, 2 things. One, it's reorganizing our org keys on how our salaries are paid out. Before we had the CBA treatment employees in one, and then the wastewater plant managers, sanitary engineering staff in another, and this will move the operations managers with the CBA employees so we can get a better accounting of the expenses we have for our field operations, so.
Good. Vote?
Vote on motion 17-135. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
That brings us to number 10, Administrator Reports.
Three things really quickly. First of all, we got an email on the 7th, a couple of days ago, that our newest retailer, IKEA, and significant for us because we had an important role as a county to play with our contribution to Gemini Parkway Extension. But they have announced that they will be hiring 250 people in that store, so another good thing for our county. Second thing I wanted to mention, congratulations to Dawn Houston. She is now the Vice President of the Ohio Public Employees Labor Relations Association. It's a statewide board, so congrats. She's been a member for a while, and she was nominated by none other than Cy Kelly. So congratulations, and we know that you do a great job representing our county on that board.
Yes, congratulations.
And last but not the least, 7.5 more hours. Don't screw up. Tomorrow, Jane completes her 1 year at the county, and then she's officially off probation, and what a great addition she's been to the team.
Yes.
So early congratulations to you.
Yes,
So I had
absolutely. That's right.
7.5
Yeah, she's,
hours.
yeah.
Better be on your best behavior.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Merrill.
About three things. You had three, I had three. MOPC policy luncheons today at
Yeah.
11:30, and Fazan's going to also attend. Look forward to going to that. I think we've talked about, just make sure, March 20th, I believe, is the legislative.
Yes.
And that's going to be at 9 o'clock?
9:30, I believe.
9:30
Sorry, you're right, 9
at
o'clock.
North Star, and it'll be us and Knox with our legislators.
CCAO.
Yeah, CCO is the ones coordinating, but we're going to host it. And what I have suggested to Fazan is there's 4 key topics that are important to CCO, and in each one of those topics, we do have somebody in our county that has an interest, like voting machines, Board of Elections. It'd be good maybe to have a representative, opiate, Sheriff's Office, and the other two, the sales tax, George Kaitsa, and the fourth is help me there.
Defense, public defender, indigent defense
Yeah,
fund.
and that would be maybe the prosecutor's office. So I think it'd be helpful to invite a representative from those 4 areas to also attend and suggest the same to Knox County. So we'll hopefully have good results that day. And then lastly, I think it's appropriate to bring this up because it was an email that was sent out. There is a fundraiser for Chief Wilson coming up in May, and only because it's been made public am I mentioning it, but it's a fundraiser because he's facing some medical challenges, and would encourage anyone in the state, the county, to participate. I think it's a 5K walk/fun run, and I have a high respect for Chief Wilson. He has, my 4+ years here, he has been a 911. He kind of took the lead on that. He's very articulate in everything he's ever done to speak in behalf of his district and our county, and hopefully our prayers are all with him, and I just think it'd be important that all the county employees be supportive and consider participating.
That's in May.
Yeah, and I had it here somewhere, but I can't find the sheet. I want to say
It's May 6th.
it's early May.
Yeah. And it's a 5K?
Correct.
Walk or run?
Walk or run. So you run it, Commissioner Lewis.
Sure.
May 6th at 10 o'clock a.m. Starts at the Big Walnut Grill in Sunbury.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Nice event.
And it's to help with
Yeah.
the medical costs, expenses that he's
Okay.
incurring.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Lewis?
All right. I went to the Delaware County Family and Children's First Council yesterday, executive committee, good meeting, different changes always taking place at the state level. It's interesting how they're doing things. They're moving in one program, Ohio Children's Trust Fund. They were concentrating more on a marketing campaign than they were actually giving money directly to families through the programs some programs that were formerly there. So we had a big discussion on that and just some other administrative things. And that's it on that. And then I was really privileged this week to go to a couple of really neat programs. One was a program put on by our Department of Developmental Disabilities in conjunction with the county library in Orange, and it was a book signing and also a good education, really, from Paul Doherty. And Mr. Doherty has been a sports columnist for the Cincinnati Enquirer since 1994, lives outside of Cincinnati. He's been awarded the AP's Best Sports Columnist in the country award. So a very good writer. Needless to say, I haven't read the book yet, but it is about his family's journey with his daughter who has Down syndrome. She's now 27, married on her own. She is employed, her husband is employed, and it was really a great heartwarming story. I do have a little granddaughter who has Down, so I've taken a special interest in learning about Downs. So it's a great book, so I had him sign a book for my son and daughter-in-law and for Anna. And then last night I was at a fabulous, unbelievably, both from an educational standpoint and just very, very interesting, the Women's Leadership Network sponsored Brooke Axtell as their keynote speaker. It was for Turning Point, fundraiser for Turning Point. And Brooke is a victim of a, really very sad sex trafficking victim. And she is a survivor and has become a leader in educating us all on sex trafficking, which is not a subject that usually comes up. But we had one of our deputies here, too, who is really helping out here in actually, working with victims of sex trafficking and trying to prevent this terrible crime. But Brooke gave her story, and then really a lot of great facts on, to inform us and to make us realize that she said so many people don't think this is a problem. That's because they're not looking in the right places, and it's become an even worse problem with the Internet. In particular, Backpage, which has been taken down, but sex traffickers were able to get get a hold of many young girls through this website, and it's been taken down. But there were 250 people there. She spoke for about 45 minutes, and you could have heard a pin drop. I mean, it was just a really, really heartfelt speech. So enjoy meaning. I was very happy I was there to learn and also to hear Brooke. It was a tremendous success. Right now, Turning Point, I believe, has raised $1 million. I
thought they were about halfway.
And Turning Point is our local domestic violence shelter that a lot of us have been over to see the site. But we are the largest county in the state without a domestic violence shelter. So everybody's working really hard on that. So I believe the goal is $3 million. So well on our way. So very heartwarming, though, to see the support for this. And today I go to Leadership Delaware on a panel. I think, Commissioner Merrill, you did that last year?
I did.
So looking forward to that. That's it.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. had the Finance Authority Board meeting on Tuesday, and it's really encouraging. There's a lot going on with that group. They've got a number of deals they're working on that should be very positive for the county. So it's good to see that group becoming more active in helping our local economy. Farzan and I met to go through his goals, and all the directors and managers' goals that are, very well thought out and very much appreciated, and we're going to try to make that more of a regular process so that we do keep track of our goals at the directors and the managers and at the county level. So anyway, Farzan and I are going to meet on a quarterly basis and just get updated on those. So I appreciate everyone's work on that. I think, again, it's really valuable for all of us, all our leaders, to establish goals each year and work hard to make sure they get done, or as many of them as possible get done. And that's really all I got. So we had no executive session. All right. Well, we didn't set a record, but we came pretty close.
Yes.
So, okay. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Great, now if I would have talked so long, we could have had a record. Yeah,
The record is like 5 minutes.
Oh, is it?